man of God can misunderstand me to this point, to this extent. Who else is going to understand me here? You become concerned. So my question to you is, when you were praying during that night, when you were praying in your house, when you prayed in your office, talk to me, somebody. What did you pick? What did you sense? What did you feel? Your sensitivity was suddenly, miraculously heightened. Then you started picking events in the spirit, even the name of the demon in charge. You can extract a name from the atmosphere. You know there is a demon in charge of this territory. My number 2 question is, what then are you going to do with the evidence that you've gathered? It calls for a different personality who is a principality to address principalities. At the level. Yeah, it's not going to be dealt with at that level. Some of you are now at that level where you know that this man, my husband, is an evil spirit. But the question is, what now? What is it that you can now do with the evidence gathered? You have discerned that there is a principality that normally sits on your husband. But only a principality can contend with that one, and you are not. So the fact that you've been able to discern the nature of a demon doesn't mean that you have the capacity to contend or to address that situation. You have to grow to that level where you know what to do with the evidence. You say to God, why do you show me? Why is it that I'm at a level where I can know just by looking at somebody that this person is under serious depression, but I have no words to give comfort? So God then starts preparing you, equipping you with proper language, vocabulary that administers healing to the afflicted. But it's coming from having noticed that you are so sensitive. How come I know this person is sick and yet I cannot cure? Lord, why do you keep showing me these things? It's a call to another dimension of prayer. It's an invitation to another level of what? Prayer. How come I keep seeing people in distress, yet I'm not well equipped to help people out of their problems? So you celebrate, you thank God, thank you, you have made me sensitive. Now I know the demon in charge of this thing. Really a prayerful man of God. What is it that even your members, they've diagnosed you, they know that your only source of information is us? How is it that you can be lied to that point where you insult even your God during those 2 hours is not saying anything concerning the matter? Okay, what is it about your members? What is it that they know about you that you are never going to find out? They are so sure that your God is never going to talk to you. They are so sure that you are not prophetic enough. They've measured your prophetic, and they know that whatever we tell this man, his God is never going to tell him the truth. So now, why am I saying this? I'm only saying this is something that you look at, and instead of admiring people that pray more than you get discouraged then when you see lack of sensitivity on them, and you wonder what kind of a prayer. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Hey, sit down. So, what really had motivated me to also want to pray? You see, when a person comes out of prayer and then you see that this person is so sensitive, his level of wisdom has gone beyond the borders. This person has since left the human sphere in terms of his comprehension of spiritual things. Then you you trace it back to his prayer life, then you say, okay, maybe it's coming from having prayed every day for 3 hours. That's why he is that sensitive. I think it's because he prayed for 3 hours. That's why he has that much wisdom. I think it's because he prayed for 3 hours. That's why he is. But then when you see lack of wisdom, lack of sensitivity, lack of truth, then you go back into his prayer life. You begin to, you stop admiring his devotional life. Why is this devotional life not telling him the truth? Why is this not resulting in more wisdom?
Yes.
So you are discouraged. That's why you have to be very, very careful that the more you pray and people get to know that you pray more, your life then must be consistent with your prayer life. So that when people meet you and you execute a certain measure of understanding that they don't have, they will have to trace it back to your prayer life. It is your prayer life that they then admire based on a lifestyle. So be careful. I'm just talking about your hands versus what you are saying. Your hands versus what you are saying. Your life, there must be proof in your life that you are not only busy praying, God is busy answering you. There must be proof. So I'm measuring now that if my ministry is going to be this complicated to a point where sometimes, some of these demons that you encounter, they are not dealt with at the point of discovery, where you discover them. No. It's like just a lab where you go to the doctor and he takes some samples from your body. He's sending those samples to the lab. And they will bring back their findings back to the doctor. The lab is not going to cure you. They will bring it back to the physician. Now he's equipped, he's informed, he knows exactly what he's dealing with. Since this, I've sensed the presence of a principality. What does it take for that same principality to also sense me, the principality? What does it take? So that next time I walk into any environment, instead of feeling a thick cloud over me, how do I become a thick cloud over the thick cloud? So that I'm the one now being felt by principalities. Is a what? It's a principality. Why is prayer not improving you? Be seated. Be seated. Be seated. One of these days, if you are to lose your job and it is said that you have stolen money from the company and you get dismissed, it's all over the papers. Everyone believes that you've stolen. Then your wife is going to ask you, did you take the money? I know you will answer, but no, I didn't take the money. But after answering such a question, that idea that even thought of asking you, did you steal the money? It will haunt you forever. Because you're looking at the number of the years that you people have been together. And the only person that you expect to understand you and to know you is not sure whether or not you stop. If she's a prayerful person, you still begin to wonder, what is she doing in prayer if God cannot tell her this?
That's why you become upset with your husband that they don't let you pray. But what kind of prayer is that? Why are you praying? Saying why are you praying?
Everyone else is being taught things by other people, but not you. You take everything that you hear from people, you bring it before your God. I expect more from you. Why is it that your sensitivity is not improving? You are praying the wrong way. You are not praying well. So, Prophet, so how am I going to know that this is the right prayer? Sensitivity, Bamku.